welcome back to another video. This one's a little bit different. I decided to test out a different camera and a different mount than last video. On the last one I used the Insta360 Go magnet clip that fits onto your chest. This time around I decided to use the Insta360 X3, which I've had for a little while now, and decided to try it out with the chest mount. I've used this camera on and off for various trips, but I never use it this way. I always use it, sort of fish it out of my pocket and use it by hand, I suppose you could say, rather than mounting it to anything. I do wish that I'd checked the footage as I was going though, because when I look back at it, most of it is just down to my handlebars and not out to the view like you'd get with the other one. Today's ride was a pretty short one. It was about 20 miles all in all, but that's the longest ride I've done for a while. The weather was really good. It was sunny and bright. It rained a little bit overnight, so it was a little bit wet, but nothing too bad. And it didn't rain while we were out, so all is good. The route took us out to Quaint and sort of the Derbyshire Dales and skirted the Peak District on the way back in. Stopped at this bakery for the biggest sausage roll I've ever seen in my life and a little flapjack to take with us. I went a little bit wrong on the route, so I ended up on this little road with a sign that said unsuitable for motor vehicles, which obviously my bike needs to go on. It was the tiniest little lane I've ever seen. There was little houses on either side. It was dead cute, and it just popped you out onto this main road again. We decided to take a little break at the Quaint Memorial Tower, which apparently on a really clear day you can see Lincoln Cathedral. Apparently as well, this way that I'm looking now is out into Derbyshire, and if you look where that little grass circle was, if you look the opposite way, that's Nottinghamshire. I find that when you go out into the countryside a bit more, people are a little bit more polite and they're in less of a rush. And I noticed it drastically actually when we were cycling through Quaint and the neighbouring sort of villages, and then when we hit a certain road and we start heading back into like the main towns, it got so busy with impatient drivers that it was just it made the ride feel a bit more rushed towards the end, which I don't know if that's just something that happens around here because it's a bit busier, or if that happens everywhere, I don't know. It was a really steep climb, you can tell by me pulling on the bars so much, but it's this really narrow, windy little lane, and it goes on, it feels like it goes on forever. I don't think it does, I think it's quite short, but it feels like forever, and it is steep. When I plot the route on Ride with GPS, it said the highest gradient, or the biggest gradient, was going to be 9%. Apparently that wasn't it, but it felt like it. ended up following sort of a side road through a couple of villages out towards the Blackwell Trail, which we're going to join in a minute. We ended up following the Blackwell Trail and looped back round towards South Normanton. I think the Blackwell Trail connects with, I might be pronouncing this wrong, the Traversal Trail, the Teversal Trail, something like that. I think it connects to that and then loops you back round. But we veered off and headed back through South Normanton before cycling back home. This road here that I'm cycling on now, I really wish you could see it. That car that just overtook me, it overtook me on this bridge. There was a car coming the opposite way. It was very close, but it sort of bounced a bit as it hit all those potholes, and oh my god, I thought it was just gonna lose its wheels. It felt like it was off the air for a really long time. This little section is probably one of my favourite bits to do around this area, and it's a bridle way, so you can ride on it, but it is rough, as you can kind of see there. It's full of loose rock and gravel and dirt, and on a dry day I can get up there fine, really fun. When it's wet, my back wheel was slipping and sliding. I had to get off and push because you can kind of see the sun against the water was so bright. I was like, oh, I can't see anything. Maybe someone in the comments can tell me a better way to mount my camera on my chest where I can get a better view. Maybe it's something in the settings. Maybe I need to have a bit more of a play, but I guess that's what this is all about, right? Figuring out what works and what doesn't, and what system feels best for me. It turns out the dog wasn't actually that bothered that I'd come back.